Hi Virgo, welcome to your June 2023 Astro Tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. That being said, there's a lot of astrology in these, so with that being the case, you want to check this for your ascendant sign first and foremost, especially if you're only going to watch one, because it's likely to be the most accurate. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for the first transit that I would like to look at over the course of June 2023, on the 6th of June, Venus is going to enter the sign of Leo. Now, okay, usually happens once every, year and a bit, let's say, but Venus is going retrograde this year, so this is going to be the start of a 4-month stay of Venus in your 12th house, right? Because Leo rules the 12th house for Virgos. This is going to be the start of a very nice long transit. This can make it easier for you to end bad habits, to release certain self-sabotaging tendencies or behaviors. It could also make your sex life really a wonderful experience where it almost takes on like a transcendent kind of energy. It could also be the start of sweeter dreams, more sort of gorgeous, pleasurable sleep, right? It can really enhance your dreams and potentially bring a lucrative spin to your dreams as well. So pay attention to them. It may be that you're going on a retreat of some sort at this time over the course of this next 4 months. A retreat to do with, your spirituality, to do with love or pleasure, or maybe even working through some habit, maybe even going to something that feels like rehab or has the same kind of effect as rehab, but it's nowhere near as harsh, right? So I love this for you. It can also harmonize and sensitize your own psychic awareness. So this could be a really great time for that. It could also, for some of you, potentially bring secret love affairs, things that are happening behind closed doors. It can bring lovers from the past, especially when it goes retrograde. So just things to watch out for. But all in all, I think it's going to be a nice transit. So for this, you've got the 9 of Wands, addressing some personal hurt or wound through this transit, with the 10 of Pentacles. So this could be a time where you get your money right, okay? Like this could be a time where you start to really undo some kind of financial destruction that you've done for yourself. Maybe you fucked up your credit rating and now you start to repair it and you understand the preceding factors that went into that. You could also start to understand your financial destiny and legacy a lot different than you have previously. And then you've got the Strength card, which represents Leo, right? So I find that really interesting. For a lot of you, this is going to be some kind of healing that happens on a very physical level, but the route towards that healing on the physical level is going to come through the because Venus rules your 9th house as well, and she also rules your 2nd house of money. So there's something to do with your health, your home, your body and your physical self, and also your past and your history, that are all combining to synthesize into some kind of powerful healing that happens of your physical self and your financial outlook and experience. So wow, for the 11th of June, Mercury, your ruling planet, is coming into your 10th house in Gemini. Your career and your legacy sector is going to play host to its ruler. This is going to be speeding up career matters. It's likely that your career will really start bringing more opportunities to communicate with others, especially because it rules your 1st house as well. So you might be more in control of this than actually most of the other signs, because it's happening in your 10th house, but it's your ruling energy. So I like this for increased commerce and business, drawing in sort of new ways of making money through the career as well. Remember, Mercury rules business and financial transactions. So there could be a lot of those sort of like really heightening and ramping up at this time. I actually like this for you sharing something about the work that you do from a more personal perspective. And like this allows you to find an honesty with what you're doing and in your career. And just being more yourself with that. It's like you're settling into yourself once more. If you're not working, this could be if you're not working at the moment, this can bring possibilities or opportunities to get work. If you're retired and not interested in working for any number of reasons, this could be a discovery of a new vocation or a hobby that you find really exciting and fun. Love that. For this, you have the 10 of Swords. Okay, so look, 2 10s represents change. So big change coming to the career with the 10 of Wands. So 3 10s represents what we call new matter, which means that this is a reset that's happening in your career sector. Something big is shifting here in the career. And then with this, you've got the Death card. So endings, 10s themselves are completion points, especially in tarot. They're also considered, 10 is also considered a perfect number in Pythagorean numerology. The Death card, endings, completions, culminations. Something comes to a close in the career, but something definitely is being forged, birthed, or created in the career sector as well. So I actually really like this. I will say there's a potential here, I'm sorry to say, you may very well hear of a death within the community that you work in. So this could be, let's say within, maybe it's within the business or the organization that you work for. For some of you, this could be, it's likely to be as well somebody that either lives abroad or further from you, or somebody that's well known in your industry could pass at this time. And it could be a really sad experience. I know not too long ago, in the tarot world, it rocked a lot of us. Rachel Pollack had, started her transition, which is crazy because she's just such a vibrant, beautiful being, and her work and her writing have informed so many tarot readers across the world. So, I hope I'm wrong on this front, but it's a possibility. On the 19th of June, on the 19th of June, Saturn is going retrograde. It's going to be in an exact sextile to Jupiter. This for you is happening across the 7th and the 9th houses. Saturn is the ruler of your 5th house and your 6th houses, whereas Jupiter rules your 4th house and your 7th house. It's not just an expansion of the home and the partnership or the relationship. It's a chance to utilize the right connections to amplify your goals, to reach bigger and broader horizons. There's something here that presents itself, and you might be able to immediately see the potential of this thing, for the long term. It's careful expansion of everything that you're doing. There's a fun element to this though, because Jupiter is in the 9th house. Jupiter loves to be in the 9th house, and it's already an energy of buoyancy and happiness and light, levity, abundance, growth, happiness, right? And it's tempered, that boundless sort of optimism is tempered by the sextile to Saturn, where Saturn says, okay, that's all great, but let's not just have it be pie in the sky. Let's give it some substance so that we can actually use this on a practical level. And then Jupiter is saying to Saturn, okay, that's great, but you know what, old boy, you kind of need to get your funnies up. So it's like they're really working very well together, and that is going to be a nice connection for all of us economically across the world, I think, as well. Then finally, I love this for planning new things to do with the home, a purchasing of a home, a building of a home, and I really love it for expanding your family. But this could be with children, doesn't have to be, but it could also be for some of you, maybe you're opening up a B&B, like you're a place to do up where you're going to offer breakfast and retreats and sleepovers and all of that kind of stuff. So it could be anything from kids right the way through to, we're opening up a place to rent out. So with this, you've got the 5 of Pentacles. You will need to keep an eye on the financial aspect of this. You've got the Tower card. Okay, so this is probably speaking to what's happening on the wider world stage. And then you've got the Sun card. Some of it's going to get scary for a while, but then it's going to kind of pull itself back in. And look, while there are going to be some financial challenges attached to this, you got the Sun card, which diminishes those challenges and also says in the long run, you're going to be absolutely fine. And something to do with hospitality could absolutely be the way forward. All right. So very, very nice. And then finally, the last transit that I want to look at, that's because I can see the Sun card on the screen. The Venus, the Moon and Mars are all coming into a triple conjunction in the sign of Leo on the 22nd of June, which for you is in that 12th house. The past, your privacy, your hidden zone, the parts of your world and experience that are behind closed doors, right? So Venus is the ruler of your second house of money and your ninth house of higher wisdom and philosophy, but also international connections. The Moon as the ruler of your 11th house. I think that's, yes, as the Moon is the ruler of your 11th house, and then Mars as the ruler of your 3rd and 8th houses, right? This is powerful stuff because it means you're getting the fact that it's a triple conjunction. That's one energy. Then on top of that, these are 3 personal planets, technically 2 personal planets and a luminary, but even still, 3 personal energies taking shape in that 12th house. Your past, your privacy, something is coming up here to be acknowledged and to be looked at, and it won't be ignored by any of us. And the reason being is because they're personal planets, which means we're going to feel this on the day-to-day level. And it's not even a case of like, oh, you need to be worried about this. It's just, it's going to show up in a very real world way on that day-to-day level. And in the 12th house, sleep, retreats, hospitals, places of deep spirituality, places that are considered retreats, places of exile even, right? So this could be something to do with that. Then you've got the 4 of Wands for this. So there's a reason to celebrate because of it, with the 6 of Swords that potentially takes you abroad or overseas. And then you've got the Devil card, providing you don't see it as being see it as being potentially only one way to succeed. So I love this, and I'm intrigued to see how it shapes up for all of you. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Okay, so for your lunations, on the 4th of June, you've got the Sagittarius full moon, which is happening in your 4th house of home, property, family, and real estate. And for this, you've got the Gate 29 and Perseverance. If you're starting a home-based business, if you are going for this bed and breakfast type thing, scenario, or anything like that, this is basically saying, yes, there are going to be some challenges, but go for it because this is a great way to go. And then for the Gemini new moon on the 18th of June, you've got the Gate 59 and Intimacy. And this is happening in your 10th house. This basically says this is the time for you to fall back in love with your career or your legacy that you feel you are supposed to do or fulfill in this lifetime. Tapping into that energy of being intimate with life and saying, come on you, let's go to the bedroom and, do the wild thing. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If I haven't mentioned it, I'm going to mention it now. We are doing a Venus webinar that is called The Bounty of Regal Venus. Because Venus is spending 4 months in the sign of Leo, myself and my friend Denise Matthew, who you've seen us do many works together, we're going to be looking at astrology, human design. There's obviously going to be tarot pools. There's going to be PDFs. Trust me, you want to be there. It's on the 4th of June. It's £66 and you will obviously get the replay if you want to get on that. And trust me, you absolutely do. I'm really proud of this one. You can get that on the link in the description box below, and it's going to be all over my socials soon enough. All right. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.